Hey guys, it's Michael. Today is your Friday, June 19th, stimulus check and stimulus package update. The other day, Steven Mnuchin had an interview with NBC 10 News. He went over stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, enhanced unemployment benefits, the PPP program, and he went over what exactly he's expecting to be in the second stimulus package. He gave us some guarantees, and he gave us some other hints on what will be in the package. So in today's video, I'm going to break down his interview, and I'll link it down below if you'd like to watch the full interview with Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin. But before we get started, I want to announce that I'm doing a $50 free stock giveaway. For some reason, when I announce giveaways, some of you guys get upset, but if you want to enter, all you need to do to enter is like the video, be subscribed to my channel, and comment down below the 3 stocks I mentioned at the end of today's video. If you don't want to enter, no big deal. You can still go ahead and get 2 free stocks when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I'll be announcing the winner in tomorrow's second video. Anyways, let's jump right into it and let's go over what Steven Mnuchin said in this interview with NBC 10 News. He said, while the number for unemployment report and for the retail sales report, he said that the numbers were good for May. They were much better than people expected. He said, while they were better than expected, their job is not done. The White House, the Treasury, Congress's job is not done until everyone who lost their job is able to return to work. He said that the $3 trillion that have been put into the economy from CARES Act, from the interim bill, he said this has clearly helped the American businesses and American workers. We've seen the unemployment numbers, these retail sales reports. The reports have been better than expected, and they've done their job. He said already 60% of this money that they have passed has been put into the economy, and they still have another 40% left of what has already been implemented, what has already been passed, that needs to be distributed and spent in the economy before we see the full effects of these packages. He said their goal at this point is to sit back a few more weeks, see how the economy performs, see what the unemployment report looks like for June, what the retail sales report looks like for June, and then they will start working with the Senate and the House on a phase 4 bill. This is how he starts off the interview. Then he goes more into details of what will be in the second stimulus package. He gave us some guarantees. He said some things will be guaranteed, other things they're currently discussing. So let's get into that. So Steven Mnuchin said, the focus of the next bill would be a much more targeted approach to the workers and businesses that clearly will have the most difficult time restarting and rehiring. He specifically spoke about travel, entertainment, leisure, businesses that require people to be in large crowds or travel. He said those are going to take the longest time to start back up again and see a true and full recovery. The reporter asked him specifically if direct stimulus payments will be included in the next bill, and he responded by saying it is something that they are definitely considering right now. He listed one thing that will definitely be in the bill. He said this will definitely be in the bill, and he said the one thing is liability protections for businesses. He said Mitch McConnell has been pushing for this liability protections, and it's something that a lot of people agree on because they want to prevent frivolous lawsuits and a lot of lawsuits when businesses start to reopen. And they said the one way to do this is to implement liability protections for businesses. So they said this is definitely, absolutely going to be in the next stimulus package. So this is good news because that means we know there will be a second stimulus package. We know there's going to be liability protections, and now they're just debating other aspects of it. Moving on, is I've been getting a lot of questions about who will receive money in the next stimulus package. If you're on SSI, will you receive it? SSDI, if you're a senior citizen, who's going to receive money in the next stimulus package? Is there an income requirement? Well, according to Steven Mnuchin, he was asked that if a smaller pool of people will receive money in the next direct round of stimulus payments, or will it be the same group as before? He responded by saying that when it comes to stimulus checks, the same broad approach would be taken in the second round of stimulus checks that was taken in the first round. He said that the appeal of direct payments is it's a very direct and fair way of getting money to everybody in the economy. He said that if they pass more direct payments, it is going to be the same broad approach, meaning that everyone is going to receive money again. Anyone who received money in the first round would probably receive money in the second round. A lot of people have been worried because we've only been hearing about enhanced unemployment benefits, and that would only apply to a small group of people. But according to Steven Mnuchin, he said that if there is a direct stimulus payment in the next round, it will be a broad approach and it will apply to a significant portion of people, similar to what was in the first round. He specifically says in the interview that it will get money to people who are back to work, people who aren't back to work. It's going to get money to a lot of people. He said they perfected the process of sending out these stimulus payments in the first round, and they were able to get over 150 million payments out in a record time with the CARES Act. He said that in the second round, once it is passed, their goal is to get the payments out as quickly as possible. He said getting money to people in 4 months after a package is passed is useless. It does no good for the economy. So he said now that they already have everyone's information from the first round when everyone input their information into the IRS system, he said now they'll be able to get these payments out immediately and get them out significantly faster than they did in the first round. So this is good news because we know that when they pass this package, we're going to receive the payments much sooner than we did in the first round, because he said 4 months, weeks and weeks is not going to do any good. If they pass more direct payments, it means that we need to get the payments now. Otherwise, waiting long will not do any good. He goes on to talk about the PPP program because there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of debates in the news lately about disclosing who receives PPP money. Through programs such as the Payment Protection Program, the government has already sent out tens of billions of taxpayer dollars to businesses in an effort to help them keep their workers on payroll and stay afloat during the pandemic. But so far, details about where that money has gone, who has been receiving the money, has not been released. He said in the interview that he wants to strike a balance here to protect what is clearly proprietary information of very small businesses, because this is set of payroll and we want to make sure that there is proper transparency. He goes on to explain that what he means is that businesses who are large public companies who received PPP money, he said those are going to be disclosed. That information is going to be disclosed. But he said if you're a sole proprietor or if you're a single person with a couple of employees, if they disclose this information, they're basically letting everyone know what your salary is, how much money you're receiving. And he said disclosing some of that information for small businesses would not be right, and they have to keep some of that information private. But he said for large companies, large public companies that accepted PPP money, they will make that information public. He goes on to say that they will definitely figure out who is going to He goes on to say that this week is when they will figure out what exactly is going to happen with what information needs to be disclosed. So I'll keep you updated on that. It's just been a major point of talk in the news lately because a lot of people think if taxpayer dollars are being spent on businesses and helping them, they want to know where this money is going to, which companies are receiving this money. But according to Steven Mnuchin, he said very small businesses that are maybe sole proprietor and only one person or 5 people, he said that they will most likely not be disclosing these businesses' information, but they will larger companies. So I'll keep you updated on what happens here. And then finally, at the end of the interview, he goes over the enhanced unemployment benefits, these $600 per week enhanced unemployment benefits that a lot of people have been talking about. These are set to expire on July 31st. And he said that when they first created this program, he said that there is a fundamental issue with the program. He said that the reason they did a fixed amount of $600 per week was that it was much faster to get that money rolled out. He said the best way to have done it and the way that they would have liked to do it was have a percentage for each state, so everyone received different amounts, because he said when they passed this, they knew that there was an issue because some people would be receiving more money than they did at their jobs because they couldn't take any percentages and they were just trying to get the money out as soon as possible. So he said when they created this, they knew there was an issue, but they took the speed of getting the payments out over the accuracy of giving people the right amounts. So they chose speed over accuracy. So he said moving forward in the second stimulus package, they're going to fix this issue. He said, we're going to make sure that people don't get more money to stay at home than they do by going to work. He said that's obviously a disincentive for the economy, and that's not fair to people who are working. So he said they're going to have to fix this issue in the next package. He said most likely they'll have a reduced enhanced unemployment benefits, but they're still debating what exactly this will include. And then finally he goes on to talk about the economy in general and seeing a full recovery, what is needed to happen. He said that if we can get a vaccine by the end of this year, he thinks people will be able to return to their jobs and most people will see their jobs come back fairly soon. But he said if there is no vaccine by the end of the year, then people will not be able to return to their jobs as easily, and a lot of people will have to search for new jobs. He said right now, a lot of what happens and a lot of what's going to happen is going to depend on what happens with the vaccine. He said the issue right now is that it's not just an issue with the economy, because this isn't a normal problem, what we are seeing right now. He said the problem is that it is a medical issue with the vaccine and the virus. He said if you could tell him what was going to happen with the virus, if we were going to have a vaccine in a couple months, he said then he could tell you what would happen with the economy. But since everything is so uncertain right now with the virus, if there'll be a second wave of cases, because some states are already seeing increases, well, he said if you could tell him what would happen with this, then they could better predict what happens with the economy. And that is why they're not doing it immediately, because they're waiting to see how unemployment data, retail sales reports, they're waiting to see how these reports look in the month of June, and they're waiting till after the Senate comes back from its July 4th recess. Anyways, that is your Friday, June 19th stimulus check and stimulus package update. We covered a lot of information in today's video, from stimulus checks, the PPP program, unemployment benefits, and the virus in general. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave comments down below so I can see your questions and answer them in the next video. In addition to this, the 3 stocks for today's $50 free stock giveaway are: stock number 1 is Alibaba, and the stock ticker symbol is BABA. The second stock for today's video is AT&T, and the stock ticker symbol is T. And the third stock of today's video is going to be Bank of America, and the stock ticker symbol is BAC. So remember, if you want to be eligible for the $50 free stock giveaway, you need to like the video, comment down below the 3 stocks I mentioned, and be subscribed to the channel. Anyways, don't forget to get your 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 when you sign up for the Webull investing app. Check out our Power of Finance investors group if you're interested in the stock market, investing, and how to make money in general. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like the video down below, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.